What's up, Texans Nation? Our OTAs have officially wrapped up, and while we're all focused on the big picture, a major internal battle is brewing that could catch everyone by surprise. We are looking at a crowded, tight end room, and the math just doesn't add up for everyone to stay. There is a serious buzz about a potential roster casualty that nobody saw coming, involving a player many of us expected to shine. Is our depth chart about to shift in a way that leaves a fan favorite on the outside looking in? Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. The Houston Texans have officially wrapped up their 2-week OTAs period, and as the dust settles, the focus shifts toward the grueling roster battles ahead. While these practices are non-contact and held without full pads, they provide crucial intel on how the final 53-man roster will take shape. One position group currently under the microscope is the tight end room. With 7 players currently signed to the 90-man roster, the team faces a numbers game. By the time the regular season arrives, this group will be trimmed down to 3 or perhaps 4 players. Standing at the center of this looming roster squeeze is third-year tight end Cade Stover. While his potential remains a topic of conversation, his path to securing a spot has become increasingly complex as the team evaluates its personnel needs. The competition is fierce, and the margin for error is razor-thin for someone in his position. As the coaching staff assesses the depth chart, Cade Stover finds himself in an uphill battle to prove his value. With established names occupying the top spots, he is fighting to carve out a permanent role. The transition from OTA buzz to the reality of final cuts is fast approaching, and every snap he took during these 2 weeks was a piece of evidence for the front office. The tight end room is evolving, and for Cade Stover, the pressure to demonstrate growth is immediate. The reality is that the team is looking for specific skill sets to round out the position, and the competition surrounding him is as intense as ever, leaving little room for complacency as we look ahead to training camp sessions. The hierarchy within the tight end room appears to be firming up. Dalton Schultz is a lock for the roster, providing the veteran stability the offense requires. Alongside him, second-round rookie Marlon Klein has made a strong impression, essentially securing his place in the group. Furthermore, the arrival of Foster Moreau, who was a priority free agent signing, has added significant depth. Moreau has already shown his capability during these early sessions, and his presence effectively locks down another spot. This leaves little breathing room for Cade Stover. Historically, the Texans have leaned toward keeping 3 tight ends, which makes the path for someone like Cade Stover increasingly narrow. However, offensive coordinator Nick Caley has expressed a desire to diversify the offense by utilizing heavier personnel sets, drawing from his previous experience as a tight ends coach. This coaching philosophy suggests that keeping 4 tight ends is a distinct possibility. While this potential expansion of the roster count offers a sliver of hope, it does not guarantee Cade Stover a spot. He is essentially fighting for that final depth position, knowing that the decision-making process will be rooted in how the staff envisions the offense performing on Sundays. As the team prepares for the next phase of the offseason, the competition for the remaining spots becomes the primary story. For the fans waiting for it to be Toro time, the intensity of these drills is just a glimpse of the hard work required to make the final cut. Cade Stover must now maximize every opportunity as the coaching staff continues to balance experience against the developmental upside of the younger players currently competing for a place on the team. Why does this matter right now for the team? The answer lies in the strategic identity of the offense. With players like Dalton Schultz, Marlon Klein, and Foster Moreau likely anchoring the room, the Texans are prioritizing specific roles to support their passing game and blocking schemes. For Cade Stover, the challenge is clear. He must prove that his specific skill set provides more value than what others bring to the field. The competition for the final spot is directly impacted by the return of 26-year-old veteran Brevin Jordan. After battling through back-to-back season-ending leg injuries in 2024 and 2025, Brevin Jordan has returned to full health for these OTAs. His presence is a significant variable in the roster equation. D'Amico Ryans and Foster Moreau have both highlighted the impressive start Brevin Jordan has made, particularly noting his skills as a vertical threat. In a league that prizes playmakers, a healthy version of Brevin Jordan adds a layer of explosiveness to the position that is hard to ignore. This creates a direct clash between Cade Stover and the veteran. While Cade Stover is experimenting with a move that incorporates fullback duties to improve his versatility, the team must decide if that positional flexibility outweighs the pure receiving upside that Brevin Jordan brings to the table. This is the crux of the decision facing the organization. Every practice session is a data point for the staff, and the outcome of this specific battle between Cade Stover and Brevin Jordan will dictate how the final roster is structured. The team's desire for a balanced, multifaceted offensive attack means that every player must justify their place on the field. The contrast between Cade Stover and Brevin Jordan represents the classic dilemma of versatility versus impact. Cade Stover is attempting to carve out a niche by blending the roles of a tight end and a fullback, offering a unique dynamic that could theoretically help the offense in short yardage or heavy personnel situations. This effort to become a Swiss Army knife is his best argument for retaining his spot on the 53-man roster. Conversely, Brevin Jordan offers a more traditional, albeit dangerous, vertical threat. His ability to stretch the field and create mismatches in the passing game is a high-value commodity. When the team evaluates their needs, they have to weigh whether they prefer the utility of Cade Stover or the offensive weapon that is Brevin Jordan. Given the offensive coordinator's focus on diversifying the scheme, the staff is likely looking for players who can maximize their personnel packages. If the Texans determine that adding another reliable pass catcher is more important than the hybrid role that Cade Stover is developing, his status could quickly shift from a roster hopeful to a surprise cut. The depth at tight end is a luxury, but it is also a liability when the time comes to make difficult decisions. Every day during the OTA sessions, the coaches have been observing how each player interacts with the current system. For Cade Stover, the challenge is to prove that his growth is tangible and that he provides a level of versatility that is simply too important for the team to walk away from. It is a high-stakes environment where the roster is being built one detail at a time. As the offseason progresses, the story of Cade Stover remains one of the most compelling narratives in the tight end room. He finds himself at a critical juncture in his career with the organization. The focus has been squarely on whether he can demonstrate enough growth to separate himself from the rest of the pack. His attempt to master the nuances of playing both tight end and fullback is a direct response to the pressure he faces. However, the presence of Brevin Jordan, who is fully recovered and showing flashes of his potential as a pass catcher, continues to loom large. The organization is tasked with the difficult job of identifying which combination of players best serves their goal of a more diverse and efficient offense. For Cade Stover, the coming weeks are not just about practice. They are about securing his future in the league. The front office and coaching staff are closely analyzing every move, knowing that they will soon have to make the tough calls that define the roster. Regardless of whether the team chooses to keep 3 or 4 tight ends, the competition between Cade Stover and the rest of the room is undeniably sharp. As we transition from the conclusion of OTAs into the upcoming training camp, the spotlight will only intensify. Fans are eager to see if the team can build a unit that elevates the entire offense. And Cade Stover understands that his performance in these high-pressure moments is what counts most. The final roster decisions will be a reflection of the team's identity, and for Cade Stover, it is a fight to ensure he remains a part of that journey as the team moves forward.